to start somewhere. It has to start sometime. What better place than here? What better time than now? Stop us now!
There's no doubt that this is going to be a highly contested presidential election, and one of the good things about it is it has politicized a lot of people. A lot of people I talk to are excited. They're registering to vote for the first time, and for good or bad, a lot of them see a hope for change in Obama. And so people are often thrown off when they find out I have a negative opinion of Obama. And it becomes personal. Like, what is it about him I don't like? And that I think really becomes a stumbling block for us to really understand the political process. Is we look at it in a very personal way. You know, that's the way the elections are framed in the mainstream media. And it's no accident that then when we go home, that's the way we think about it. We think about, you know, what kind of a guy is John McCain? Is Hillary Clinton? Is she honest? It's tied up in this personal narrative of the kind of people that each one of these candidates are, and in doing that, we lose sight of their institutional role. And so that's just what I kind of wanted to talk about in this video. So we like to think of the president as this position of enormous power, and it's true, so long as the president moves in the right direction. You know, I was a supporter of Ralph Nader. You know, I'm still a big fan of the guy, even though, you know, I disagree with him on a lot of things, but he's a good guy. But people would often ask me, what is it you think Ralph Nader would do if elected president? And the answer was nothing. There's nothing he could do. None of the things that Ralph Nader would want to do could be affected. And that's because he would be moving in the wrong direction. You know, you saw this with Bill Clinton. When Bill Clinton had all the power in the world to bomb, you know, pharmaceutical plants in Sudan, or rain bombs down upon Yugoslavia, attack Iraq at whim. But when it came to encroaching upon the pharmaceutical industry and the insurance industries and trying to nationalize or implement universal health care, all of a sudden the president had no power whatsoever. If he was ramming you know, NAFTA down our throats, you know, sending millions and millions of American manufacturing jobs overseas, he had all the power in the world. And you can see this. You go back and you can look at various presidents and you see this thing again and again. If they're working in the interests of the Fortune 500, a president has all the power in the world. I should also point out, however, that the pressure doesn't only come from corporate or the business sector. You know, we look back and we see, say, a president like Richard Nixon, who passed the EPA, you know, was a firm supporter of affirmative action. There's a reason for that. It's because that's where the population was. There was popular mass pressure put upon the presidency. And, you know, so there you have a Republican who is probably a bigger supporter of these liberal programs than modern Democrats are today. It's not a personal thing. It's not that Richard Nixon was more progressive or more liberal than modern Democrats, but the population was more organized, was able to exert more pressure upon that office than it is today, and the office of the presidency had to respond. So it's a dynamic thing. But in order for us as working class people to exert pressure upon that office, we have to be organized. And one of the main ways that working class people have done that has been through labor unions. You can have all your disagreements you want with those, but there's a direct correlation between democracy and the strength of labor unions in a country. We can get into that at some other point. But I just wanted to, I'm not trying to paint this black and white picture that whatever business wants, business gets. But clearly the balance of power is in favor of big business at this point. Labor unions have been decimated. About 7% of the private sector is organized. That means most American workers are unorganized, have little or no political power. So something to think about, because this is an institutional role that Obama or McCain will be assuming, and there are certain constraints placed upon it. And unless you and I organize and can affect some kind of pressure upon that office, it's going to be the same thing we've seen the last 8 years, the last 12 years, the last 50 years. That office will continue to protect global capital. It doesn't give a damn about working class people. It wasn't designed to protect us. We have to protect ourselves. So, peace.